my name's Jessica Duke, and I'm doing my presentation on Into the Wild, screenplay and directed by Sean Penn. Into the Wild was an excellent adventure film that utilized cinematography, screenwriting, and had great actors. I was going to pick just one of these categories, but I felt they all brought something unique to the film, and they all together made it a great film. The most important part for me was the cinematography. It tells the story in visual images, sets the mood for the film, and tells the audience where to focus. It tells the story in visual images because in a lot of the scenes you didn't need words to understand what was going on. Like the scene when Chris first leaves his sophisticated home in Atlanta. He shows how optimistic he is and how he thinks everything will somehow work out. Another scene is when he destroys all important documents he has, like his social security card, his ID card, his birth certificate, his money, and he also leaves his car behind. It shows that Chris didn't want to conform to society, and he didn't want anyone telling him what to do or who to be. This idea is also backed up when a police officer tells Chris that he can't river raft without a permit. Chris river rafts anyways. Another scene is when Chris is starving in Alaska in the end. You can tell he's starving because he loses weight and he's desperately looking for food, and then he eats the wrong plant. You can tell it's the wrong plant because of the way he gets sick and starts to die. There were a lot of slow scenes in this film, but like Chris fending for himself, walking in the desert, trying to hitch a ride, and in an abandoned bus in Alaska. But every scene has meaning, and it shows how dedicated Chris is to finding happiness, truth, and himself. The cinematography also sets the mood of this film. It shows that it's an adventure film because of all the different landscapes, like deserts, beaches, highways, rivers, Alaska. So Chris is definitely on an adventure during this film. This film is also very inspiring. A lot of people don't chase their dreams, and Chris went wherever his dreams took him. He went to the end of the world to find freedom and the truth. The mode was also a little bit sad because he has to leave his family behind, and he leaves his new friends that he meets along the way behind in order to pursue his dream, and in the end he ends up dying anyways. The cinematography also tells the audience where to focus. Chris's search for truth was the main focus of this film. In the film, Chris states, "Rather than love, than money, than faith, than fame, than fairness, give me truth." It focuses on Chris finding himself. He even renames himself in the film to Alex Supertramp in order to start over and have a fresh beginning. The screenwriting was also very important in this film because it tells a story in words. Sean Penn transformed this book into a movie. A lot of the work was done by the author of the book because Sean Penn didn't have to interview people Chris met along the way, but he did pick the visuals to go with the scenes, and he did bring Chris McCandless back to life through the film. He chose scenes that make you fall in love with Chris, scenes where Chris interacts with people, shows what a great person he was, what a connecting personality he had, how compassionate he was about his dreams, how willing he is to learn and experience. He learns to live with hippies and to be a farmer, to make belts, and to river raft. Screenwriting had amazing qualities. It reels you into Chris's life, and it makes you emotionally connected from every character, his family, friends, and people he meets along the way. You feel lonely for his sister, sad for his parents, and you feel enchanted for every person Chris left an impression on. Chris teaches everyone how to be the best they can be and how to fulfill their life with their dreams. A scene that shows this is when Chris helps Rainey and Jan, the hippies, to work out their problems. The actors also brought a lot to this film. Emile Hirsch was Chris McCandless. Originally, Sean Penn wanted Leonardo DiCaprio, but had to delay making the film for 10 years because of the family's wishes. So Emile Hirsch was picked, but I honestly don't think there was a better pick than him. Chris McCandless was supposed to be intelligent and a very amusing person, and you could see these traits in Emile Hirsch's eyes. Emile put on a lot of muscle in this film to show how Chris became strong crossing the country over foot or riding bikes and all that stuff. And then he dropped a ton of weight in the end to be the starving figure that Chris ended up being. He did everything he could be to be the best role in this film. Other important characters are Rainey and Jan, the hippies. They really played their part as acting as Chris's kind of like parently figures. And also Chris's sister, who wasn't in this film very often, but when she was, she showed love and admiration for her brother, and it was written all over her face. Every character that crosses Chris's path shows that they try to understand his way and they give all of their full attention to him. They felt that they could learn something great from Chris, and I believe they learned how to be more free. The cinematography, screenplay, and the actors all came together to make a great and unique film. They all tell a memorable story of a boy chasing his dream, and overall, it was an inspiring and adventurous film worth watching.